video is more of an exercise of faith this morning. I'm getting ready to go to my pickup for preparation. We got food distribution we do once a month, second Tuesday of every month. Lakeside Church in Oakland, Florida, so West Central Florida. And so we pick up food multiple times a week in preparation for it. And that's my deal. I got to go get that truck, go pick up the food. And run a little behind because my grandson decided to have a funny day going to school this morning. So, but I promised myself I have to do these videos regardless of my scenario. So this is Crash Test Dummy Day, and of course I'm starting with beautiful music. Always. Pray for Carmel. She obviously made it to Haiti, and I talked to her last night. She has little to no power. It's been raining, which is odd because it doesn't really rain much in Haiti in particular parts of the year. And she told me that the people around her said that she's a blessing because when she shows up, it rains. But she doesn't need the rain because she needs the sun for the solar powers because she doesn't have many solar powers right now. Solar panels. I'm saying solar powers, and I'm not editing this. So she doesn't have many solar panels, so she hasn't really had any electricity. So when I talked to her last night, she was about running out of electricity, and that was like 10 p.m. And where she's at, if there's no moon, well, if the sun's not casting its light across the moon, and there's not a nice moonlight going, with no cloud, no coverage, for her, she gets no electricity. She's in dark. I mean dark. This is Haiti, and her closest neighbors, I think I'm half a mile away, quarter mile away, so there's no lights around there. And so we're hoping to get her up and going. But pray for her because when I talk to her, she never will tell you she's in bad spirits, because she's always faithful that God will be faithful to her. And she did, if you pay attention, get out there and watch her videos, you'll see she posted a video saying, hey, I'm alive, I'm well, thank you for supporting me, for praying for me. So pray for her, really pray for her, because she's got work to do. God sent her there for a reason. She knows this, but we don't want to minimize the down days, right? We want to have her up and running. Anyway, I have to do this video, so because it is sports too, and I haven't really talked about sports much at all, and I'm not going to, because this is a crash test dummy. I have to get this video out quick. I've talked about T-Mac already. Devin Neal out of the University of Kansas, running back, and of course Tez Johnson, wide receiver out of Oregon. It's not exactly like people aren't sounding a horn, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. And I talked about Jason Dart. Actually, Jason Dart looked good at the combine. Jason Dart. Amarian Hampton and Caleb Johnson. I keep pounding these names. I said this before the Senior Bowl. I'm saying this after the combine. I understand where other people's thoughts are at. And I want to give a shout out to a late flyer, Luther Burden. Roller coaster, but these guys are professionals, or they're trying to be professionals at the highest level, and so their first time on this stage, you might not have the best moment. It might not be everything you'd hope it'd be, and I shouldn't say everything you hope it'd be, but things don't always go your way. But I'm trying to remember who I was watching. Maybe I think it was Luther Burden that started out kind of slow and didn't have that beginning wow moment that you feel like they needed, and then kind of turned it around when they started getting into the drills, and he had a chance to start running routes. And so you got to see the difference between just blowing it up in a straight line and using guys' footwork and hips to come out of breaks, and so and then obviously securing the ball, very important. Combine, don't drop the ball. I know that stinks, and if you do, make a great catch, come back and do it feist. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to go too much into it. Those are the people that I came away from the combine looking at so far. And then there's other people, some of the quarterbacks, but I don't want to get into big detail with quarterbacks right now because what happens is over-analysis, paralysis by over-analysis. Like, we don't even know where these people are going yet. And that's always the big thing. This guy's going to be great. And I said the last video, your landing spot means a lot. Where you land means a lot. And how many quarterbacks have we seen just absolutely become obliterated, just fall apart when they get to the big leagues? And a lot of it has to do with the system. Some of it has to do with it's not that it's a bad system, they're just not capable of running it, and sometimes they're just a very capable quarterback in a bad scenario. And then sometimes you don't know. It's Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was the enigma, and it's funny, I bring him up because I was a Sam Darnold truther. As a matter of fact, if you go, anybody actually watched my videos, I believe I brought up somewhere in there where I was a truther of him early on when he came to the NFL. And I say that in a way of I don't usually get quarterbacks wrong. I usually can name them because I don't usually say something. And it doesn't mean I'm out there and I get every quarterback right ever. But if I say something, I say, hey, whoa, this guy's going to be great. No, this guy, not so much. I'm usually pretty accurate. And I've been wrong. Like, Josh Allen's proved me wrong somewhat. You like his tenacity. That doesn't always translate. That doesn't always translate into the NFL. The tenacity, the fights. It's great to have. It's an absolute must. And sometimes some of these more somber quarterbacks that have that tenacity, they might be a little bit better. So it's a nice balance. And so I didn't see the tenacity of him translate so much because I was so worried about the skill set of him throwing in the wind. And he still doesn't throw great to the wind. To this day. He's much better. My nephew and buddy Michael, who competes against me, I might actually tell him about these videos. I haven't told him yet because I'm still getting my skill set. And I don't want him copying me, little copycat. But he'll tell you he was a big Josh Allen guy, and I was nah, can't throw in the wind, can't throw in the wind, can't throw in the wind. And so that's kind of our one thing. But usually everybody else I'm accurate about, and Sam Darnold was one of the few guys I was just didn't get it right. I can remember my buddy Carl, who doesn't watch my videos either. He wanted to go early round on a quarterback, and I'm trying to remember who he wanted to draft. I have to look that up. I just remember the scenario, which was, no, don't do this. Draft this guy instead. He's like, I need a quarterback. I'm like, just get, who did I tell him? I told him to go pick up Jalen Hurts. Just draft Jalen Hurts. I think it was like, I haven't drafted him like in the third round of rookie draft. And very productive. So you don't have to always reach, and you just have to pay attention. There are other guys that stood out in the draft as far as quarterbacks and stuff. I don't have a lot of time, so maybe I'll get. I think I started talking about some quarterbacks in the previous video. But once again, it's really going to come down to the landing spot, where you end up, and who's coaching you, what system. I'm still recording. While you're here, I can edit. But here's my buddy Shanny Hanny. Chopper copter. Sensing. How you doing? Look at that plate clean. Oh, now you want to look. I hate you, baby boy. Oh, I do that because I don't know how many days we got left with him. How many days we got left with little Shanny Shan? He's going to be 18 this summer. This is the first puppy dippy that in my whole life I actually got to pick out. See, that's my baby. He's been around almost 18 years this summer. He's a young baby boy. Aren't you? He's a handsome baby boy. Oh, yes. Anyway. Okay. So, because I have to crash test dummy, don't have a lot of time. My daughter interrupted me. Lost my train of thought. I got to wrap it up though. Yeah, Caleb Johnson, Myron Hampton, and Jackson Dart, Axon Jackson Dart, Mr. Never Misses, Mr. Accuracy Dart accuracy. Anyway, and another person was Jalen Milroe. Supposed to be a bit of a prospect, on the radar, but accuracy issues. But in the combine, he had a couple of deep passes that looked really, really good and nice velocity. So a lot of things to talk about, but it's so early in the process. They're still breaking down these guys and still talking about where they may or may not go. Until we know the landing spots, it's just conversation. And so if we're gonna have a conversation, let's stick to the conversation about GIVEROFHOPE.org. Let's pray for Carmel and her husband and her family down there and what God sent them down there to do. Maybe find a way to get her some solar panels and upgrade her system. She needs to she wants to start a church, or continue the church, and she wants a clinic. And if you've seen the videos, you see the roads you got to go on just to get there on a motorcycle is impossible. So it's a lot on the table here, and so we're asking God to be faithful for a lot of things, and it starts with hopefully just getting the word out, people listening to me. And once again, it's GIVEROFHOPE.org, and I'll constantly post this. Send Carmel your prayers, send her your resources, send her your thoughts, and blessings to you. Remember that this is more important now, right? I love this song. My dog's trying to sneak out. Shanahan, don't do it. Christian Fantasy Sports. The only fantasy here is sports because God is real. See ya.